Discord onboarding is arguably one of the best features Discord have released, so today we'll be running through how you can add it to your Discord and then set it up in the most effective way. First, we need to make sure that our Discord is a community server, so we can check that in the server settings and you should have a community category. If not, you'll see the enable community tab. Just click that and go through the list of steps. It's very simple, and then once you've confirmed everything, the community tab should pop up where you'll see onboarding. To start off with, we're going to select our default channels. These are channels which people will see when they first join. You'll see at the top we need at least 7 channels, with 5 of those being channels that users can send messages in. There are ways around it, let's say if you're a private or a paid community, or if you have a verification system, but I'll speak about that more towards the end. So for now, just select 7 channels, ensuring that they aren't staff related channels. We then move on to the next step, which is setting up some questions, which can either be asked before you enter the server or once you're inside. These questions will require the user to receive a role or to unlock a specific channel. If you haven't already, I'd create the roles you're going to need for those questions, which you can do in the roles, click create role and give it a name. I'm going to do some notification roles and then a couple language roles. Then we head back to the onboarding tab and we can create our questions. My first will be, what notifications would you like to receive? You can then add an answer and give it a title and then a description and then even an emoji. You can add a custom emoji if you wish. Then you can select what channels or roles that option will give you. In this case, it will be the server updates role. And then I just do the same again with the rest of my notifications. Once you're done, you can select whether or not you want people to select multiple answers, which in this case it would be yes, and whether or not you want to require the question, which I won't do in this case. If you scroll down, you can then create another 3 pre-join questions along with some post-join questions. I'll just make another one quickly for my language roles. You can see if you have more than 13 answers, just like I have here, it turns into a drop down box like this. Once you're happy and you've got all of it set up, if you want to see what it looks like, all you need to do is click the preview on the top here, and you can run through it as if you were a new user joining the server. We then move to our post-join questions, which are questions asked after they've joined. I don't tend to use these as much, but I'll show you how they work anyway. I've recently released a free community called Discord Mastery, which you can join now and it will help level up your Discord skills. We've got a bunch of live events, calls, and is your go-to if you want a successful Discord server this year. Simply click the link in the description or go to thediscordmastery.com and I'll see you inside. Just create a question as normal, but for this time, I'm going to make it so my answer opens up a set of channels rather than roles. For example, I'll go with some topics that people can select. So for fitness, we'll create that as an answer, and in the channels section, we want to either select an entire category to open up when they select this, or we can make it so it just opens one specific channel. Then you just need to create the answer and then do the same for your other options. When it comes to the user finding these questions, they can click the channels and roles option on the very top of the server channel list. This gives them the option to reselect all their options to the questions they previously answered, along with answer some of the post-join questions. If people want to see all of the channels regardless of having to do the questions, they can simply just right click and click show all channels. The last part of onboarding is the server guide, which comes in 3 different parts. A welcome message, a to-do list, and then a resources page. We're first going to create our welcome message. You can click who the message is going to be sent by. Usually I do this as the server owner. Then in the message you can see there's an option to mention the user, so I'll include that to make my message more personal. What I would do is just create a simple intro about what the server is about and maybe 1 or 2 key points. We then move to our to-do list. We can set a minimum of 3 channels for this, and essentially it's just a list of steps the user has to take when they first join the server. You have the option to require the user to click the channel and then read the information if they actually do, and then also you can require them to send a message before that prompt actually goes away. Usually I start off with the introduction channel and require them to post in the channel, then I send them to an information channel or a socials channel and then set that as a read channel option. And then finally I set it to a forum or a text channel, which can be any of your choice. The last thing is making resource pages. Now while this might be a popular feature for some, I still don't use this in any of the servers I work on because I prefer having that visibility of the channel in the channel list. But you can pop in any information channels, maybe FAQ roles or level roles, official links, and then people can go through the resources and it displays them like this without a bot icon, which looks a little cleaner. When it comes to your own server branding across the whole of the onboarding section, it's all based on server boosts, and so if you want it, make sure you have at least 7 server boosts. For those of you who want to add this to a private community, or when you've got a verification system in the works, set at least 7 channels to be visible to everyone because that's required, but then you want to create an unverified role or like a free user role. You then need to just make sure that that role is granted to a user every time they join with the bot. You can use something like Sapphire. Then all you need to do in the permissions is make it so that channel is hidden from that particular role, so that when they complete onboarding, they can only see the channels that they're supposed to. If you're a bit unsure, you can watch my video on a verification system where I set it up with onboarding, which you can click here. Just to run through it now as a new user, once I have my onboarding questions, it opens up my server guide, which includes my welcome message, my task list, and then the resources page. Once I complete a task, it ticks it off the list and gives me a prompt to move to the next one. If you want to learn how you can add this fancy introduction system to your Discord, then click the video on the screen now and hit the subscribe button for more Discord content.